Save money, 16 things you shouldn't spend on. Have you ever found yourself at the end of the month wondering where all your money went? You work hard, budget carefully, and try to save, but there's never enough left over to build a solid financial cushion. On the other hand, you might have noticed that some people seem to save effortlessly, no matter their income, while others, like most of us, live paycheck to paycheck, constantly scrambling to make ends meet. It's frustrating, isn't it? The reality is the problem for many of us isn't necessarily how much we earn, but how we spend what we make. There's something we often overlook: the silent waste of money. The small, seemingly insignificant purchases and habits that drain our finances without us even realizing it. These silent leaks are like tiny holes in a boat. At first they seem harmless, but over time they add up, sinking us further and further into financial instability. And if you stop and think about it, how many times have you grabbed a coffee on your way to work or bought lunch because it was convenient? These purchases seem minor in the moment, but they add up, month after month. A few dollars here, a few there, and suddenly you've spent hundreds or even thousands of dollars on things that don't contribute to your long-term financial well-being. And the worst part is, you might not even notice until it's too late. It's the small things that quietly slip through your fingers, taking a bite out of your savings before you even have a chance to set any aside. The true challenge lies in recognizing where these leaks are happening and taking steps to stop them before they do too much damage. What if you could stop wasting your hard-earned money on unnecessary purchases and start redirecting those funds towards something that truly matters to you? Whether it's building an emergency fund, paying off debt, or saving for a future goal, eliminating these hidden drains on your finances could have a significant impact on your financial stability. Imagine how much better your financial life could be if you took control and made conscious choices with your money. I know this might seem overwhelming at first, especially when you're used to certain spending habits, but trust me, it's possible. The key is to take it step by step. Every small change you make will add up over time, and each step will bring you closer to mastering your finances. It's about shifting your mindset and making intentional choices with your money. By the end of this video, you'll be more equipped to make decisions that help you achieve financial freedom, following the same principles of someone who built billions with wisdom and caution. Warren Buffett, one of the world's greatest investors, is often cited as a model of financial wisdom. He has lived by a simple yet powerful philosophy when it comes to money management. Despite being one of the richest people in the world, Buffett is known for his frugality and humble lifestyle. He lives in the same house he bought decades ago, avoids unnecessary luxuries, and focuses on making long-term, thoughtful investments. His approach is grounded in the idea that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Buffett believes that financial success doesn't come from complicated schemes or flashy purchases, but from making smart, consistent decisions over time. In today's video, I'll show you 16 things that are a complete waste of money based on the principles that Warren Buffett has championed throughout his life. These tips are not just about avoiding extravagant spending, but also about being mindful of the small, everyday choices that can add up and keep us from achieving financial freedom. Some of these may surprise you, and others may seem so obvious that you'll wonder why you hadn't thought of them before. But together we'll explore each one, and by the end, you'll be armed with the knowledge you need to start making smarter choices. Before we dive into the specifics, think about this for a moment. How often do you stop and truly evaluate where your money is going? For many people, the issue isn't necessarily their income, but rather how much and where they spend. Small amounts here and there, purchases that seem harmless in the moment, can add up over time. And before you know it, those small purchases are eating away at your potential to save or invest in something more meaningful. It's the cumulative effect of these little expenditures that can derail your financial goals without you even noticing. The truth is, it's easy to overlook these invisible expenses because they don't seem like a big deal in the moment. Maybe you grab a snack from the vending machine, or you make a quick impulse purchase online. It's only a few dollars, right? But when you do this repeatedly, those small amounts add up to large sums over the course of a month, a year, or even longer. Over time, these hidden expenses can significantly reduce the amount of money you have left to save or invest, and you may find yourself wondering why you never seem to have enough to put away for the future. But what if you could catch these invisible expenses before they turn into bigger problems? The first step in mastering your finances is learning how to spot these money leaks and take action to stop them. By being aware of where your money is going, you can begin to make more intentional choices that will help you build the financial stability you've always wanted. It's about paying attention to the small details, identifying where you can cut back and where you can make better use of your money. This doesn't mean you have to cut out all enjoyment or never make a spontaneous purchase again. Instead, it's about being more mindful of your spending and making choices that align with your long-term goals. Whether that goal is to build a secure retirement, pay off debt, or simply have more financial freedom, everything becomes easier when you have a clear purpose guiding your decisions. When you know why you're saving, every cutback and every effort to save makes more sense. It gives you the motivation you need to stay on track, even when it feels tough. Now it's time to dive into the specific tips that will help you take control of your finances and stop the silent waste of money. By eliminating these unnecessary expenses, you'll be able to put that money to work for you, building a stronger financial future. So let's get started, and remember, every step counts. You don't have to do everything perfectly right away. Just take it one step at a time, and you'll see the results. And as we begin to dive into the process of improving your finances, it's important to recognize that no journey is truly successful without community and shared knowledge. One of the best ways to make progress is by engaging with others who are on the same path, exchanging ideas and supporting each other. That's why I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. I encourage you to share any savings tips or strategies you already use that have worked well for you. Maybe there's a small adjustment you've made that's had a big impact on your finances, or perhaps there's something new you're considering trying. Your experiences could be exactly what someone else needs to hear to make a positive change in their own financial life. By exchanging these tips, ideas, and questions, we can learn from one another and strengthen our collective knowledge. No matter where we are in our financial journeys, there's always something new to discover. Maybe your savings strategy is a game changer for someone just getting started, or perhaps your question is one that others have been wondering but didn't know how to ask. The beauty of community is that it allows us to grow together, learn from one another's successes and mistakes, and become more confident in our financial decisions. Whether you're just beginning to evaluate your spending habits or you've been on the path to financial mastery for years, there's always value in shared experiences. It's easy to feel isolated in your financial struggles, especially if you've been dealing with tight finances for a long time. But the truth is, many people face similar challenges, and by opening up about your journey, you can create a network of support that makes each step forward a little easier. In the comments, let's foster a space of encouragement, where no one feels judged for their current situation, and everyone can contribute to making financial wisdom more accessible. Together we can make this journey less daunting and much more rewarding. Now let's take a moment to reflect on where your money actually goes. It's something that many of us rarely think about, but understanding the flow of money from your bank account is essential if you want to make lasting financial changes. Have you ever truly stopped to analyze your spending habits and looked at how much of your income is going toward things that don't align with your long-term goals? For most people, the problem isn't necessarily how much they earn, but rather how much and where they spend. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle of daily life and overlook the small, seemingly insignificant expenses that pile up over time. But these little purchases can be quietly draining your resources, and the more you ignore them, the larger the impact they have. Think about all the things you spend money on without giving them a second thought. A daily coffee, a quick lunch at the office, or a spontaneous online purchase that felt harmless at the time. Each of these small expenses might seem insignificant individually, but when added together, they can amount to a significant chunk of your budget. Many of us have experienced the frustration of realizing that despite our best intentions to save, there's never enough money left at the end of the month. That's because these minor expenses sneak up on us, often without our awareness. Before we know it, we've spent far more than we intended, and our savings goals have slipped out of reach. The real problem comes from how easy it is to let these small, everyday expenses pile up without noticing. A few extra dollars here and there might seem trivial, but over the course of weeks, months, and years, they accumulate into a large sum that could have been better used for something more meaningful. If you want to start saving and investing in your future, you need to identify where these invisible expenses are hiding. It's about becoming more aware of your spending habits, being conscious of the choices you make, and making small changes that will have a big impact over time. One of the most powerful tools you can use to combat these hidden leaks in your finances is a clear goal. When you don't have a specific purpose for your money, it's easy to let it slip away on trivial expenses. But when you have a defined reason for saving, whether it's to build an emergency fund, pay off debt, or save for a dream vacation, every dollar you spend or save becomes more intentional. With a clear goal, you'll find yourself asking, "Is this purchase worth it?" before making those impulse buys. Suddenly, every decision becomes more focused and aligned with your financial aspirations. Having a goal turns saving into a more meaningful activity, and it helps you stay motivated, especially when it feels difficult to stick to your budget. When you're saving without a purpose, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. Saving money for no reason beyond just saving can feel like an uphill battle, and it's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results. But when you have a goal, whether it's to retire comfortably, pay for your child's education, or take a long-awaited trip, each step of the process feels more rewarding. You're not just cutting back for the sake of cutting back. You're doing it because every dollar saved brings you one step closer to achieving something you truly want. This sense of purpose gives you the strength and motivation to resist those small temptations that often derail our best intentions. Your financial goals are unique to you, and they should reflect your values and aspirations. They can be big, like buying a home, or small, like saving enough to buy a new phone or treat yourself to something special. But no matter what they are, having a clear purpose behind your saving and spending decisions makes all the difference. Once you know what you're working toward, every decision becomes more focused, and every cutback becomes easier to make. Whether it's skipping a daily coffee or resisting a spontaneous shopping trip, you'll find that cutting back becomes much less painful when you know it's helping you get closer to something that truly matters. In the end, it's about making your money work for you, not against you. Identifying where your money is leaking away and redirecting those funds towards something meaningful is one of the most powerful financial moves you can make. With a clear goal and a mindful approach to spending, you'll be able to build a more stable, secure financial future for yourself. And by sharing your experiences with others, you'll continue to grow and learn along the way, making this journey toward financial freedom all the more rewarding. Now that you've recognized the importance of identifying hidden expenses and the power of setting clear financial goals, it's time to explore the next crucial step in improving your financial life: taking action. Identifying where your money is leaking away is just the beginning. The real work comes in making conscious decisions to stop those leaks before they become larger problems. Many of us unknowingly live with small financial drains that can easily go unnoticed, but when combined, they accumulate into significant amounts. The beauty of financial success isn't always about having more money. It's about making better decisions with the money you already have. The first step in this process is simply to pay attention. Start by tracking your spending. This doesn't have to be an overwhelming task. There are plenty of apps and tools available to make tracking your daily expenses easy. By seeing where your money is going, you can identify patterns and pinpoint areas where you might be overspending. Are you eating out more than you should? Are you purchasing things on impulse without a second thought? These small, seemingly insignificant habits add up over time, and they're often the reason we struggle to save. Once you have a clear picture of your spending habits, you can take targeted actions to cut back in areas that aren't contributing to your financial goals. One powerful way to tackle unnecessary expenses is by eliminating or cutting back on the things that offer little value to your long-term happiness or success. For example, if you find that you're spending too much money on convenience items such as takeaway coffee every morning or grabbing lunch from the office cafe, consider whether these expenses align with your goals. Can you make your coffee at home? Could you pack a lunch instead of eating out? These adjustments don't need to be drastic, but they can make a significant difference in your overall spending. You may find that some of your regular purchases are rooted in convenience or habit rather than necessity. The key is to recognize this and challenge yourself to make smarter choices. Often, we buy things because they're easy or because we've always done it that way. But once you've identified the expense and asked yourself if it serves your financial goals, you'll be able to make a more informed decision. Cutting back doesn't mean sacrificing everything that brings you joy, but it does mean getting intentional about what truly matters. Another aspect of taking action is the idea of delayed gratification. Many of us are conditioned to seek immediate rewards, whether it's buying the latest gadget or going on an impulse shopping spree. But if you want to achieve long-term financial success, learning to delay gratification is essential. Instead of giving in to short-term desires, focus on the bigger picture, the goals you've set for yourself. It may feel challenging at first, but the rewards of delayed gratification are well worth it. You'll start to see the fruits of your efforts when you redirect that money into savings, investments, or toward fulfilling your bigger financial goals. The ability to resist momentary temptations in favor of long-term rewards is one of the most important skills you can develop as you work toward financial independence. As you begin to make these changes, remember that the journey toward financial security is not a sprint. It's a marathon. Small steps taken consistently over time will yield the best results. Don't expect to see instant results or a dramatic turnaround overnight, but understand that every decision you make today will have a ripple effect on your financial future. Whether you're eliminating an unnecessary subscription, cooking more meals at home, or simply rethinking your monthly spending, each step brings you closer to your goals. Over time, these small changes will add up, and before you know it, you'll be in a much stronger financial position. Now that you've learned how to make better choices, the next step is to reinforce these habits by aligning your spending with your financial purpose. Setting clear goals isn't just about knowing what you want. It's about turning those aspirations into a plan and consistently working toward them. You've likely heard the saying, "Failing to plan is planning to fail," and this couldn't be more true when it comes to finances. Without a clear goal in mind, it's all too easy to drift and make poor financial decisions that undermine your future. But when you have a specific target, such as saving for a home, paying off debt, or building a retirement fund, everything becomes clearer and more motivating. Setting a financial goal gives you something concrete to work toward, and it helps you stay focused when distractions arise. The trick is to break down that larger goal into smaller, more achievable milestones. This will make the goal feel less daunting and give you a sense of progress along the way. For example, if you're aiming to save for a vacation, start by setting a monthly savings target and track your progress toward that goal. Every time you reach a milestone, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment, which will fuel your motivation to keep going. Your goals should be specific, measurable, and meaningful. The more clearly defined your goals are, the easier it will be to stay committed to them. Instead of vague statements like, "I want to save more money," focus on clear, actionable goals like, "I want to save $5,000 for a down payment on a house by the end of the year." This gives you a target to aim for, and once you have that goal in mind, you can develop a detailed plan for how to reach it. You'll be able to make smarter financial decisions because everything you do will be aligned with your purpose. Every time you make a purchase, you'll ask yourself, "Does this bring me closer to my goal?" The beauty of setting goals is that they provide a sense of purpose and direction. When you know what you're working toward, it's easier to say no to unnecessary purchases and distractions. You'll start to develop a deeper sense of discipline and self-control, which will serve you well in the long run. And when you reach those goals, the feeling of accomplishment will be all the sweeter because you'll know that your success was the result of intentional, focused effort. As you continue down this path of financial improvement, remember that it's okay to stumble along the way. No one is perfect, and there will be moments when you make mistakes or fall back into old habits. The key is to recognize when this happens and course correct without beating yourself up. Financial success is not about perfection. It's about persistence. Keep moving forward, And as long as you stay focused on your goals and remain committed to making better choices, you will see progress. Building a solid financial foundation takes time, but by taking these small steps every day, identifying wasteful spending, aligning your money with your goals, and making intentional choices, you'll create a more stable and prosperous future for yourself. Your financial journey will be one of continuous growth, and with each passing day, you'll become more equipped to handle whatever comes your way. Ultimately, it's about making your money work for you, and with the right mindset and approach, you can achieve the financial freedom you've always dreamed of. As we move forward on this journey to better financial management, it's crucial to reflect on the wisdom that has guided some of the most successful individuals in history, including Warren Buffett. His approach to life and finances can teach us valuable lessons, particularly in the area of simplicity. Often when we think about wealth and success, we picture lavish lifestyles, complex strategies, and an endless pursuit of material things. But Buffett's philosophy couldn't be more different. He believes that the key to wealth is not in complicating things, but in embracing simplicity. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, a phrase often attributed to him, encapsulates his entire financial approach. By focusing on what truly matters and eliminating unnecessary distractions, you can make much better decisions with your money and ultimately achieve far greater success than if you tried to chase every fleeting opportunity. In Buffett's world, the most effective way to build wealth is to focus on what is straightforward and proven. Instead of jumping into speculative investments or making rash financial moves, he advocates for being patient, doing your homework, and letting time work in your favor. This isn't just about investment strategies, it's about every aspect of life. It's about not getting swept up by the complexity of modern consumer culture, where we are constantly bombarded with advertising, new technologies, and the pressure to buy more, do more, and achieve more. By stepping back and focusing on simplicity, you start to see where you've been wasting money, and more importantly, how you can stop it. For instance, when we spend money impulsively, it's often because we're trying to fill a void or respond to a temporary emotion. But the simple act of pausing, evaluating our true needs, and making mindful decisions can drastically shift our financial behavior. Buffett is known for making straightforward decisions that avoid excess and prioritize long-term value. He lives in the same modest house he bought in the 1950s, drives a simple car, and even values the way he manages his time. This simplicity allows him to stay focused on what truly matters, making well-thought-out financial decisions that compound over time. You can apply this same mindset to your own life by being intentional about your purchases and resisting the urge to chase after every shiny object that comes your way. Another aspect of Buffett's simplicity is the way he invests. Instead of diversifying across hundreds of companies or investing in risky ventures, Buffett focuses on a handful of businesses that he believes in deeply. This approach teaches us that it's better to do fewer things but do them well. The same principle can be applied to personal finance. Rather than overcomplicating your financial strategy with too many different goals, accounts, or investments, focus on a few things that matter most to you. Whether it's saving for a home, paying down debt, or building an emergency fund, simplifying your financial objectives will help you concentrate your efforts on achieving them more effectively. By narrowing your focus, you eliminate distractions and give yourself the best chance at long-term success. In your own financial life, you might feel pressure to invest in the latest trends or make bold moves that promise quick results. But adopting Buffett's approach means resisting the temptation to chase instant gratification. Instead, it's about steady progress, small consistent actions, and sticking to principles that align with your long-term goals. Every financial decision becomes clearer when you remember that true wealth is built on simplicity, patience, and an unwavering commitment to long-term success. Now that we've explored the concept of simplicity and how it applies to wealth building, it's time to focus on the mindset that will carry you through the inevitable challenges that arise in the pursuit of financial freedom. Having a strong financial foundation is essential, but it's equally important to maintain the right attitude throughout the journey. Achieving your financial goals requires more than just knowledge and discipline. It demands resilience, perseverance, and the ability to stay grounded, even when the path gets tough. The road to financial freedom is rarely smooth. In fact, there will likely be obstacles that test your commitment. Perhaps there will be unexpected expenses, setbacks in your career, or moments when you feel tempted to abandon your goals in favor of immediate gratification. This is where your mindset becomes critical. The most successful people, including Buffett, have developed the ability to stay focused and not let short-term setbacks derail their long-term vision. This is a mindset you can cultivate too. The key is to remember that every challenge is an opportunity to grow, and every setback is a chance to reinforce your commitment to your financial goals. Part of developing the right mindset is understanding that wealth building is a gradual process. There are no shortcuts, no get-rich-quick schemes, and no magic formulas that will instantly make you financially successful. The path is long, but every step you take builds on the one before it. By understanding this, you can learn to embrace the process rather than fixating on the result. This means focusing on the small wins, saving a little more each month, cutting back on unnecessary expenses, or hitting a small milestone toward your goal. Over time, these small victories accumulate and create momentum that drives you toward your larger goals. One important aspect of this mindset is the ability to stay grounded in your purpose. When you have a clear reason for why you're saving or investing, it becomes easier to stay motivated, even when things feel difficult. Whether your goal is to buy a house, travel the world, retire comfortably, or create a legacy for your family, keeping your purpose front and center will help you stay focused during moments of doubt or temptation. When you know why you're doing something, you can push through obstacles with a sense of determination and clarity. Another key element of building the right mindset is the willingness to learn and adapt. No one, including Warren Buffett, gets everything right all the time. There will be mistakes along the way, but what separates the successful from the unsuccessful is the ability to learn from those mistakes, adjust, and keep moving forward. You'll inevitably encounter setbacks in your own financial journey, but each one is an opportunity to improve. Instead of getting discouraged, use those experiences to strengthen your resolve and refine your strategy. Lastly, maintaining a positive and patient attitude is crucial for staying on track. Building wealth takes time, and there will be times when progress feels slow. But patience is one of the most important virtues when it comes to financial success. Remember that the most successful people didn't get to where they are overnight. They stayed consistent, kept learning, and remained patient. Adopting this mindset will allow you to endure through the tougher times and keep your eyes on the prize, knowing that your efforts will pay off in the end. By combining the philosophy of simplicity with the resilience of the right mindset, you can take control of your finances and make consistent progress toward your goals. As you work toward financial independence, remember that every small step you take today adds up to bigger results in the future. Focus on what truly matters, stay disciplined, and maintain a positive, patient mindset, and you'll find that you're well on your way to mastering your finances, just like the greatest investors in the world.